Ferrari is going through their toughest moment in a long time, and the talk in the paddock is getting louder. Chairman John Elkann may be ready to shake up the leadership and try to bring Christian Horner to Maranello. The 2025 season has turned into a mess, and the situation looks urgent. The numbers alone show how far the team has fallen. A squad that started the year aiming for titles now risks slipping to fourth in the constructors' standings. At the moment, they are only third with about 300 points, and they have not stood on the podium in the last 5 races. That run is their worst in years and a painful sign that they can no longer keep up with the front runners. The car expected to lead the charge, the SF25 has failed to deliver. Race after race, it has lacked the pace and consistency needed to fight at the front. The Singapore Grand Prix was the latest low point and was labelled unacceptable by Elkann himself. Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc both struggled to make any real progress. Hamilton ended up 8th and even picked up a penalty, while Leclerc could only manage 7th on a track where Ferrari had hoped to be strong. What once felt unthinkable is now close to reality. Ferrari may go through 2025 without a single win. For the most successful team in Formula One history, that would be a serious blow. It is not just a car problem either. Strategy has hurt them many times this year. Poor pit timing, questionable tyre calls and muddled race plans have repeatedly turned solid points into disappointments. All of this has put huge weight on team principal Fred Vasseur, even though he signed a contract extension as recently as July. He was hired to push Ferrari back to championships, yet the key areas that should be improving are going the wrong way. People close to the team say his position is already uncertain. The extension that was meant to show faith now looks like a choice Elkann may be second-guessing. The pressure spiked after Singapore. Elkann called an urgent meeting with Ferrari CEO Benedetto Vigna at the factory in Maranello. When a chairman holds that kind of meeting, it usually means serious steps are on the table. Inside and outside the team, many now question Ferrari's development direction. The car's concept and setups do not seem to produce a stable platform, and the technical department has struggled to find solutions that work from track to track. Tension is growing on all sides. The drivers are frustrated by a lack of performance. Sponsors are nervous about the damage to the brand. The Italian media have turned up the heat on the leadership. And then comes the rumour that could change everything. German journalist Ralf Bach of F1 Insider says Elkann is actively considering moving Vasseur aside and replacing him with Christian Horner, despite the recent extension. According to his report, the usually emotional Ferrari chairman has had a complete change of heart about his team boss. The claim is that Elkann is now intent on trying to lure Horner, even if it means paying to end Vasseur's deal early. There is a clear logic to the idea when looking at Horner's record. The 51-year-old led Red Bull through an era of dominance, 8 drivers' titles and 6 constructors' crowns under his watch. In modern F1, that level of achievement is rare. Horner knows what it takes to guide a team through a championship fight, handle internal pressure, and make the crucial calls when it matters most. The timing makes the story even more intriguing. After his departure from Red Bull, Horner is nearing the end of his gardening leave and would be free to join a new project for 2026, right when the new rules arrive. But this would not be a risk-free move. The biggest concern centres on Lewis Hamilton. He has a close personal bond with Vasseur, and that trust was a major reason he chose Ferrari. Will Buxton has even suggested that Hamilton might consider leaving if Horner takes over. Losing a 7-time champion after investing so much to sign him would be a nightmare for the Scuderia. Hamilton brings huge commercial value and deep experience in winning environments. That kind of influence is hard to replace, no matter who is sitting on the pit wall. A leadership change could also trigger a chain reaction. Key staff might start looking elsewhere if they sense another reset is coming. That has happened before at Ferrari. The team has a long history of changing bosses when goals are not met. Sometimes it helps, but it has also created turbulence that harms long-term progress. Critics often say Elkann's decisions can be more emotional than strategic. Quick moves can show strength, but they can also leave people unsure about long-term planning and stability. There is also the money to think about. Vasseur's agreement runs until the end of 2027, and removing him would likely cost a lot. Ferrari has to decide whether paying out that contract is worth the chance to bring in Horner. With 2026 bringing a major reset to the rules, that choice becomes even more important. New technical regulations will shake up the order and let teams start fresh with new designs. If Ferrari gets the leadership call wrong now, they could waste a rare reset window. Time is not on their side. Hamilton's and Leclerc's prime years will not last forever. The team cannot spend more seasons running behind. It gets worse when you look around the grid. McLaren just took a second straight constructors' title, underlining consistent progress. Mercedes is tipped to be strong when the 2026 power units arrive. Even teams that were struggling have taken strides. Williams is enjoying its best year since 2016, and Sauber has boosted its points haul sharply compared to last season. All of this stings even more because Ferrari has everything they need to succeed. Elite drivers, a huge budget, world-class facilities, and millions of devoted fans. The gap between what the team should be and what it is right now is the heart of the crisis. Ferrari should be contesting wins and titles, not scrambling to make the top three and celebrating minor results. Whether the Horner story ends up true or not, it makes one thing clear. The current plan is not delivering, and something big must change if the team wants to return to the front. The 2026 reset looks like their best path out of this slump. The next few months will shape Ferrari's future. If form stays poor and the Horner talk grows, we could witness one of the most dramatic leadership moves in modern F1. The mood among the tifosi has shifted as well. Fans who have stood by the team through thick and thin are growing weary of false dawns and missed chances. Commercial partners are watching closely too. Bad performance means weaker brand power and less marketing impact, which can lead to tough financial discussions if the slide continues. Back at the factory, the pressure is intense. Engineers must try to recover performance from the SF25, but deep design issues are hard to solve mid-season. Ferrari may have to accept that 2025 is a write-off and pour energy into getting 2026 right. That makes the leadership decision even more urgent. The team cannot enter a new regulation era with uncertainty over who is in charge, what direction the project is taking, and how the driver lineup is managed. The Horner talk, whether accurate or exaggerated, shows how serious the situation has become. When a giant like Ferrari is linked to radical moves, it means the patience at the top is wearing thin. For now, supporters can only hope the team finds the right path, whether that means doubling down with Vasseur and fixing the structure around him, or taking the bold step of bringing in Horner and risking the fallout. One way or another, Ferrari needs a coherent plan, clear leadership, and a fast car. The sooner they find that combination, the sooner the Scuderia can return to where their history, resources, and ambitions say they belong. At the front, fighting for titles, not excuses. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.